Expert Rebeccah Heinrichs with us right now. Rebeccah, obviously this ups the ante in the war of words at a minimum, to Jennifer's point here, but I'm wondering if it also opens up other possibilities we didn't originally envision when it comes to the North Koreans. What do you think?
Well, as the United States has become more dependent on the electrical grid, this is what Americans use for our phones, for our computers, for emergency responders, our financial system. We've become incredibly reliant on the electrical grid, and that's why you see countries like North Korea who have set their sights on that and understand that this is a very vulnerable target. The Trump administration has worked to sort of elevate this threat. That's why they've turned the cyber command into a unified combatant command. That's the good news. So, yes, there is the president's rhetoric, but there is actual tangible actions being taken to try to make the United States better defended against it. So all of that's good. But again, we still have great vulnerabilities. The North Koreans understand that this is a vulnerability of the United States, so we should expect they're going to continue to try to target it.
Rebeccah, I didn't know the degree to which they're pretty sophisticated, this stuff, that is the North Koreans. You always look at them as this backward country, their missile technology notwithstanding. But do they have the wherewithal to do the stuff that we fear here?
We have this tendency to underestimate the enemy, but we shouldn't, because you have to understand what the regime is up to. They want to hold the United States truly at risk, and so they're looking at these sort of cost-effective ways to do it by missiles and now through cyber attacks. We've seen that the North Koreans have also considered the electromagnetic pulse method, the EMP attack. It's launching a nuclear weapon and detonating it high up in the atmosphere, and that can also fry the electrical grid. So they're looking at different ways. One thing I would recommend, too, is there is this EMP commission that was communicating to Congress and the government about how industry can collaborate with the government to better protect the electrical grid. That has expired. That's something that that the U.S. government can sort of reestablish again, because we got to get ahead of this thing. The North Koreans are working to hold the United States at risk. We have to be creative. And again, we have to continue this diplomatic effort that we're pursuing, but we have to be as creative, if not more creative, than what the enemy is, because they really are working hard to hold the United States at risk.
Rebeccah, always good having you on. Thank you very much, Rebeccah Heinrichs.